Abuja ahayeke black media. Abuja mpanifoɔ sɛ ne buru ba kane no ɔno ene de ayomonyo no ba kane. Abuja ni nyina president of America a friend say Donald Trump the Ahantamanian president and ye kasa Ahantani ahomaso dia and Africa me hunu nipa wɔyɛ president de no betoto no na abuja Trump ba bonten e ba kan say we deport Africans nyina free ne kurom eno ba ye kan ni achew pankrofo pa ye akwa said da ominti mirim obi anka ma minti eno na Namibia for nso enya a new president the whole Namibian obi ani ho no ma waba be president or your bada we say Ghana ye betime nya oba ho no nso be president sene NDC o say MPP another political party obeba be amana ye na abusia Namibian president a friend said Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndacha edini ono aba bonten ene aba be kan sembi se wono so se wo ye Americani na wo Namibia honoma obeyimu nyina ene wo check here no list no first deportation wedi kan nipa mako 500 ene bosun we say mu free na nkonkopem ne na wotwe so de na Namibian president Dr. Netumbo ebe pamo America for mako 500 that is first deportation ono Namibia president or shas ye deport America for na nsam a wode nam so say American president Donald Trump say we African ni na wo behia passport ene afi visa ansan waba America dia ene sebi enem bi anchen nem bi krama nam ebiwe aponche nam ebichiri ana wo nam obiwe aponche ni obichiri enso ye nam a ene obi a won ye wope enti se wo se wo pamo Africans ni na firi honom dia ene ono nso Namibian president ono nso take action se week yi mu enkopim ni following week no o pamo America for mako 500 afiri ne man ni mu abuzo wie no se kan sem bi se afi wo makwan ma wo ye buroni o wo ye hwan ye o ma ne kurum honom se wo ba betu oyo o se da bi wono so didi eyeyi into ono a waba be president no obe make sure so ono abetu no oyo wo ma wo bia buroni bia makurum wo se wo ba betu oyo eno na mibisa se so enti ye wo enkrofo bi wo hono mu se ya omutimi dwene omo man ho na wo check wo man bia ye wom ene ye mpanifo yi bi ebetimi aton ade no no mo de mankrofo bi no mu di hu sika ne ye light ededem ye ma 12 hours ya ne edum ne 12 hours abuja anu ye nsem bebre kame ho na ye nkonkwaje nsem ne mu nchiremu emre sisiye.
The new emerging industry of oil and gas need to be managed in the manner that maximize benefit for all Namibians. It's a new industry. It needs closer supervision. Therefore, the management of this industry will fall under the office of the president.
In a move that has sent shockwaves through the corridors of Western power and ignited a fire of pride in the hearts of Africans everywhere, Namibia's freshly minted president, Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, has thrown down the gauntlet. With the fearlessness of Burkina Faso's revolutionary lion, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, this trailblazing woman, Namibia's first female leader, has declared that starting April 1st, 2025, US citizens will no longer waltz into her nation without a visa. Yes, you heard that right. The days of Western privilege on African soil are numbered, and Nandi Ndaitwah is leading the charge with a boldness that echoes the thunder of our ancestors. This is no timid policy tweak. This is a seismic shift, a roaring proclamation of sovereignty that reverberates from the dunes of the Namib Desert to the shores of the Atlantic. For decades, Namibia has flung its doors wide open to tourists from the United States and other Western nations, welcoming them with open arms and visa-free entry for up to 90 days. It was a gesture of goodwill, a strategy to bolster tourism, a lifeline for Namibia's economy, and a nod to the global image of a hospitable Africa. But no more. President Nandine Ndaitwah, barely a week into her historic tenure, has turned the tables with a policy rooted in the sacred principle of reciprocity. If Namibians must jump through hoops, endure humiliating visa interviews, and shell out exorbitant fees to visit the United States, then by the gods of justice, Americans will now taste the same medicine when they set foot in Namibia. Let's be clear. This is not just about visas. This is about dignity. This is about a proud African nation standing tall and saying, enough is enough. For too long, Western nations, cloaked in their arrogance and fortified by their colonial legacies, have treated Africa as their playground, a continent to exploit, dictate to, and condescend toward. They've imposed harsh visa regimes on our people, forcing us to grovel at their embassies to prove our worth, to beg for entry into their lands as if we're lesser beings. Meanwhile, their citizens have strolled into our countries with impunity, their passports a golden ticket to unrestricted access. But Nandine Ndaitwah, like Captain Ibrahim Traoré before her, has ripped up that script and tossed it into the flames of revolution. She's not here to play nice with the West. She's here to demand respect. If you've been watching Burkina Faso's young firebrand, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, you'll see the parallels. Traoré, the 37-year-old military leader who seized power in 2022, has become a symbol of African defiance. A David slaying the Goliath of Western imperialism with unwavering resolve. He's expelled French troops, cut ties with neo-colonial puppet strings, and dared the West to reckon with a Burkina Faso that bows to no one. His courage has inspired a generation, proving that Africa's youth, and now its women, can stand toe-to-toe with the so-called global powers and not blink. Nandine Ndaitwah, at 72, brings a different flavour of that same audacity. She's no stranger to struggle. She cut her teeth as a freedom fighter with SWAPO, battling apartheid South Africa's chokehold on Namibia when she was just a teenager. She's faced exile, detention, and the weight of a male-dominated political arena, rising through the ranks to become a titan in her own right. And now, as president, she's channeling that warrior spirit into a policy that screams, Africa will no longer be your doormat. Like Traoré, she's unafraid to ruffle feathers, to stare down the United States, a nation that sees itself as the arbiter of global rules, and say, if you demand visas from us, we'll demand them from you. Fair is fair. The West, predictably, is clutching its pearls. Whispers of economic sabotage and tourism decline are already floating from their think tanks and media outlets. They'll tell you Namibia's $90 visa on arrival fee, peanuts compared to what Africans pay for US visas, will scare off American tourists, denting the nation's GDP. But let's not be fooled by their crocodile tears. This isn't about economics, it's about power. They're rattled because an African woman, a black woman, has dared to challenge their entitlement. They're shaken because Nandine Ndaitwah's move exposes the hypocrisy of their rules-based order, a system that only seems to apply when it benefits them. To understand the magnitude of this moment, we must confront a painful truth. For far too long, African nations have bent over backwards to appease the West. Our leaders, many of them groomed in colonial classrooms or seduced by Western aid, have internalized a subservience that's kept us on our knees. When it comes to visa policies, the imbalance is glaring. Take the United States, for instance. A Namibian citizen seeking to visit must navigate a labyrinth of requirements, a non-refundable $185 application fee, a fortune for most, a grueling interview at the US Embassy, bank statements, proof of ties to Namibia, and a wait time that can stretch months, all with no guarantee of approval. Rejection rates are sky high, and the process is designed to humiliate, to remind us of our place in their world. Contrast that with the American experience in Namibia until now. They'd land at home.
Abuja baby a wohwe me bia wo haw ne amane kodan ne bia da eda wo su bia no bomode se woni me bedi nkomo ye de samna nwanwaso bi aba e frɛ ne se eye sika kokko na gold samna wo haw bia da eda wo su bia wo hia sa samna we se bi afi wo ye bema wo hwe me wo bema sam wo pom bema ye ketwa brabeji bula matali eduro bi na wo bema enye kese watimi abo adwuma so ache e wo empem ye de akwankyere bi aba abuja no ye hwehwe wo hyebrem a ye frɛ ne se mpelifo akwankyere ana anaasɛ wobɛtumi afrɛ no back to sender onipa bi ha onipa bi tata wato bet ɛwɔ ho sɛ wo sɛ ne tie bi obɛku bɔ mmɔden sɛ wobɛfa numbers ne egu screen ase na wɔne me akasa mehwehwɛ wo hyɛ berɛ mu wie a mɛbɔ mmɔden sɛ mɛkyerɛ wo neɛ wobɛyɛ